So I already did this for my friend who kind of came up with the saying, lovely lady, Jeanette. But I think what I'm going to do with this one, I had gotten an extra one, and I think I'm just going to take this part, and since I ended up with extra hearts after my cute little coffee mug, because I was going to do my coffee saying with my mug, but in some cases you got to plan ahead. It's pretty safe to do black lettering, but I didn't think that that was going to show up very well on my dark gray mug. I'm not sure why I got that gray mug, but that's what I had in mind. I thought it would go well, but I think it won't show up well enough. And I only have one of those in stock for the moment. So I went with the hearts since I had plenty of hearts and I can cut them as I like. So what I'm going to do now is use just this part, Love Yourself, and then I'll fill in the hearts around it. I'm still tempted to give it some color. Oh, I have even more than one heart left over. I have lots of hearts left over. Oh, that's because I love them so much. This would have been cute on the mug too, just simple blessed for those who are a little more minimalistic. See, these little cute little tiles. These tiles are something like 15 cents, 11 cents, or something crazy like that. I got these at Floor & Decor. You can get them also like at Home Depot or Lowe's or any of the tile type stores. And they're so cute to be able to, I love, because I'm an inker, you know that. I love to be able to ink on them, and they're great tester tiles too. So when I teach, I use tiles. So you can wipe it clean and start all over again with the alcohol inks, but perfectly permanent and beautiful. So with this, like this one, this was all just markers because I was being lazy at the moment while I was making some Christmas gifts, and I just used my markers and a little bit of alcohol instead of getting out the full ink setup. I could add those two together too. I'm going to go this route though. So again, all you have to do is just grab hold of that. If you can't get it with your fingernails, just get a piece of sticky tape or double-sided. And you want your transfer, you want your image to come off on the transfer tape. So this is really sticky and it leaves a sticky backing on your word. Just make sure you don't lose any little tiny parts. I don't know what that is. It's a little tiny part that doesn't want to join us. I don't think we need it. And yeah, be aware when you're designing too, when you go too small with tiny, tiny little parts, especially if you cut out the background, then you will, you might have a little bit of a challenge in getting to pull it all back up again. So I'm going to just place this. I made sure my tile was nice and clean. I'm going to place this a little more above the center of the tile. I didn't test it to make sure it's straight, but it's pretty good. And then you just take a credit card or a gift card or some sort of hard flat surface and go over it so that you can make sure that it adheres. I find it adheres really well, especially to something like tile. And you just want to kind of make sure that if you've got little crevices like this does, this design, I guess it's a word too. Just kind of get in there with the little crevices too, so that you don't leave any of the adhesive as a residual. So it is pretty darn good about just getting it done right, but that's what you want. Just want to make sure that it's all nice and adhered and that any adhesive comes back up with the transfer tape. And then you just pull it off. Super, super, super quick, super easy. And again, when you're pulling, I find pulling really flat as opposed to pulling up helps a little bit. And you just want to watch if you've got tiny little segments or thin lines. Just want to make sure that it doesn't come up with your tape. And then you are done with that sticky tape. And he's a little teeny bit crooked, but all good. Okay, so I should have cut these before I pulled them off. So now it's going to be a little bit more challenging because I wanted to kind of cut them separate and spread them out. So, ooh, that's going to be a little tricky because my stuff's so sticky. You know, it's meant to be a permanent stick. So I got a couple of them cut out and on there. Super cute. So I have a few left that I want to put on there. So I got to decide if I can put them together, if I have to cut them separately. You just don't want to touch your actual design because it's sticky back and it'll stick right to you. So yeah, I'll put a few there and a couple little ones up there. Okay, so, and again, you can print any kind of art. Some of the things that I've found with this is you don't want too skinny lines. Like with this little guy, he is really skinny. So you just have to be careful on the back end. And I've done some really intricate designs. And what I did with those for my luminary, I just left the whole sticky tape on and wrapped all the way around it and left it. So there's a variety of ways you can do this. And what's beautiful about these is when you peel this off, the only thing that sticks is your design. You don't end up with a leftover border around it. You don't have to weed it like you do with Cricut cutouts, which, you know, I mean, I love my Cricut machine, but that weeding can be really tedious, especially when you've got a bunch of little cutouts with letters and intricate designs. So you're just cutting one or two things. It's not a big deal, but when you've got something, you got to pull out every little part of that. Nah, pass. So this is the best way to go to look so pro. And they are a little bit raised, so it really gives it a nice dimension. You end up with a little residual around the edges sometimes. And you just pull that up again with the sticky, and you're done. So again, I want to thank my friend Jeanette for giving me that saying. I didn't use the whole thing, but she is a client and a new friend, and she's a lovely, lovely soul. So I am just going with that.